that we're working. Ahavtes Hashem Elokecha. We mentioned that Chazal Darshan S refers to Talmidei Chachamim. We explained how do you picture Talmid Chacham that loves Hashem. So we said also in the physical way, a person who loves Hashem, his face is happy, smiling. He's learning Torah. He's a Ben Torah. And I showed you, we said Shalom Aleichem to everybody. You're smiling and happy. And even more happiness. Because if you really owe Hashem, so then there is a way of expressing the body. So Rav Schultz in the Kollel said he has a chazal that also to show me there's a shiur, a way of measuring Avos Hashem. Another shiur of measuring Avos Hashem. In the last week's Sedra of Re'eh, and it's brought down by the Sichos of Rav Isaac Shir, that in the shiur of measuring Avos Hashem, we have a way. It says in the Torah, by the Parsha HaMesis u'Mediach, says, Loi Toiva Loi, don't listen to him. Osa lahavo, v'choiva lisono. Osa lochois olav latziloi, osa lumar olav zchus. Osa lishtoik lamed olav choiva. In other words, you have a mesis or mediach. There's a certain way that you treat a mesis and mediach. Usually people who help the underdogs, even a mesis and mediach, oh yeah, I can help him, but what can you do? He comes from bad environment, broken home, divorced family, who knows what. You got to help the guy out, or I have a way of malamed schus for him. All of a sudden he's a barditchev chosid, he's wanting to malamed schus on the person, or he's my friend, my brother, my ancestor, so Adarabba. He did so many favors for me. How can I not have a karas hatov? It is the chayva lesono. You're not allowed to save him. You know schus, and you got to find a chov. And if it's ochiv ben imo, or bito, or ashes, or anybody you love. So you have in line the love of the person or emotional feelings towards the person. The Torah says, and he brings Adam. And try to make him change. You don't worry, all the psukim. Why? Because he's trying to change you from your ways. Ki bikesh ladicha me'al Hashem Elokecha, who took you out of Egypt. So he says, Aval hari mitzvahs avas Hashem mitzvah timidasi. V'hoyel parshas meis u'diyah hu hamivchan lahoyves Hashem. Because the pasuk says, Meisach HaMediach, L'nasoscha imohev Hashem alo. You have a Meisach HaMediach, so he's brought down to test you if you love God or not. So you have to know a shiur, a measurement, where you're holding, do you love God or not? So now will come a case where you have a Meisach HaMediach, so you got to see, where's your heart? How do you treat the Meisach HaMediach? And then you'll know, you have a measuring stick, do you love God or don't you love God? That's a Meisach. Umivchem lavas Hashem. And since the mitzvah to me to love Hashem, and since you learn it amanas lasos, so you got to ask yourself, musar yagia yodei vakim. When is it going to come the time and I'll be tested that it's sure if I love Hashem? V'anisa yon gemar brachas samach alafam be. V'ho anisa nifla nor about Hashem. You can test himself. And he'll find out how far he is from the shiur of Emunah as Hashem. So he says that the love of God is so great that you'll hate them and you won't even listen to them at all. and you'll have a sinner to me this. So I'm going to tell you a true story. I went with Rabbi Sherman to see the stipler when we first started the yeshiva. Went to see the stipler. And we had letters about the yeshiva. Yeshiva is a good place to learn it. I had a letter from Rav Frank. Rav Frank said, say in my name that I hold is a good place, and wants a letter from him. But also I got a letter from Rav Cook. I got a letter from a few other people, Rav Zevin. I went to see the stipler. Now, we are in Eretz Yisrael. We have no idea about politics or nothing to us. We're Tamimim kids. We're mamish Tamimim. So we can't read the map straight. We don't know. We're just being banged and hit. So we go to him and we bring him the letters. He's sitting by his stender. And we said, Rabbi Frank sent us. Oh, wonderful. How's my friend? And we said, we need a letter from you that he asked you that he has his letter that he's a good place, a Mokum Torah, want you to sign. So he says, okay, good. Tell me, learning Torah, yeah. And then he's sitting by his stender, learning, sitting down. We're talking about 30 years ago. Sitting down, and all of a sudden you show him the letters. You know what to me? You show him the letters. He saw her cook. She jumps out of the seat, mamish. Says, what? Can't. Hey, Gavald. Forgot the lashon he used. That means the Tziyon, the Zionist, Rav Cook. We didn't know Rav Cook. Zion is a bad man. I don't know. Rav Zeman, a bad man. How do we know he's a bad man? So you can't help us, can't sign because we have those letters. So, but Rabbi Frank, he said, listen, I don't know, Rabbi Frank, yeah, but I can't do it. Once you had these other people, to me, I forgot the lashon. I can't remember. It was so emotional. He jumped out of his seat like I never saw. A young man, an old man. Then it was 30 years ago. I don't know how he died. Say he died at 80. He was 50-something years. He jumped like a guy of 20. Jumped out of his seat. So at first I criticized it for years. What's the matter? A favor. Why do you do it? But years later, when I read this Chazal, I understood. If you love God, so anybody that you feel that's against God or against, brings the people to mesis, and mesis means turning people away from the Torah, so then, you cannot emotionally hear it or see it or touch the paper. The only years later that I understand, if he loves God, so how can he touch the paper, these guys? How can he be near them? Okay. Well, let's get back to the story. Our goal is to understand the Avas Hashem. If we love Hashem, so the way to love Hashem is to darshan es, v'after es Hashem lokech. Es is to darshan Talmidei Chachamim. You have to love Talmidei Chachamim, which is, if you love Talmidei Chachamim, then what happens? You'll love Hashem more. How can you love Talmidei? If you love Talmidei Chachamim, then your children will be Talmidei Chachamim. Right? Because then, and the only way you love Talmidei Chachamim, because if you're not Amoritz, you'll hate Talmidei Chachamim. No, you'll talk nicely, and you'll talk nicely about Talmidei Chachamim, but down deep, you will go against Talmidei Chachamim. How can that be? You're a balabas, you send your kids to Yeshiva learn Torah, and you're not Amoritz, and you love Talmidei Chachamim. Here it says, the Chidor says, he brought down the Chidor, they don't hate, like Rabbi Akiva. So I saw somebody who explains Pshat in another Chazal, which I want to explain a little bit. That is that in Pirkei Avos, it says, Avtalya said, you should love Hashem and worship Hashem al manah shelo lekabel pras. You know where that is, Baron? In Pirkei Avos. You know where? Yeah, maybe we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it. You learn Torah, Mat al Manas Lakabel. You're learning Torah, not al Manas Lakabel Pras. You got it? Teichev Mekabel Mishimon Atzadik Alti Kavon Manas Pras Ella Yokavon Misham Ashlo al Manas Pras. So if you read the Bar Tanura there, the Bar Tanura says Kishili, there were two, he had two Talmidim, bison and what? Sadok and bison. And because of this, what did they do? What do you mean? We're working hard. We're not going to get. Barrow. We're working hard. We're not going to get schar. What's the whole story? It can't be. God is just, and you're working no schar. What do you know? No schar. So what did they decide? They became Sadukim by son. So everybody asked the kasha. It's a world kasha. Why did they? If they saw there's no schar, they should have rejected even the Torah Shebechtav. Why did they say Torah B'Ksav? Yeah, and Torah Shel Peh, no. And what happened there? So they bring down a Rambam in Pirkei Avos, and the Rambam, and they medayek from the Rambam that really they rejected everything, but because it wouldn't be makubal upon people everything. I mean, reject the whole Torah. The Torah is given by God. How can you say the Torah is not true? So therefore, and they wanted to be free from the Chacham and do what they want. So they decided that it's practical, and they wanted to be leaders in Klal Yisrael. So leaders in Klal Yisrael, they accept part of the Torah. The people won't reject them totally, and they agree, but they'll explain it their way. They'll be free to explain it their way, like Reform conservatives explain it their way. They would say the Torah is not true. They'll throw them out. It's not me Sinai. It's about Reform. Not the conservative. So in order to make sure it'll be acceptable, you got to accept part. Like the religion, not the Torah is good. You can teach the kids Torah, but modern times, modern things, this and that. We send our kids over a little Tanakh, the culture, Jewish culture, but really down deep, they reject the whole. But in order to be acceptable to the world, in order not to look a freak, so they gotta say, yeah, Torah Shabbat. But Torah Shabbat is like what they decide, what they want to do, how they want to do. And then they get stuck in their game of how should they keep Shabbos and not according to the game. My point was, what was my point? My question was, I wanted to answer the question of a person who loves Hashem. What I want to do? I want to answer the question of you have to love Hashem, and you have to love the Chachamim. You have to work harder to support the Chachamim, and you have to love the Chachamim. If you love the Chachamim, you can love Hashem more. And so we asked. So we brought down here the loving Hashem, B'ochin of Hashem, and we brought the Chidor. The Chidor held that, or Rabbi Akiva. But the kasha was, we say that we say that how do we know that it has to be talking about here? That normally, if a person's not that they have to be a Talmid Chacham, but you're not a Talmid Chacham, so then you're just like Rabbi Akiva saw a person who was an Amoretz, he would eat him up and chew him up totally, right? So we say how we find many people who are balabatim who send their kids to yeshiva and Torah, and we see that they're not Talmid Chacham, yet they love Talmidei Chachamim. So the real answer is they really don't love Torah. The real answer is they don't. In a certain sense, that because down deep, if they love Torah, they would be Talmidei Chachamim, unless they strive, like the Birchei Shmuel said, they strive to be in their youth Talmidei Chachamim, but because of circumstances, they could not actually do it. But if they, I'll look at this right now. But if they really held from Talmidei Chachamim, so what do? So they can't say to the kid, no, don't learn Torah. Yes, learn Torah. Eat balafas. Go to college and also do Torah Malacha. Because in their sense, they don't want to reject themselves because they look like terrible. What do they do with their guilt of their parents or religious people? So they say yes, Torah, but avoda. And down deep, it's really avoda and no Torah. It's really I was for a kibbutz. Oh boy, for Pesach I was at a kibbutz. I first came to Eretz Yisrael. What? No. Right here on the way to out of Yerushalayim. No. I should leave Yerushalayim near before. Instead of making Lefet Latrun, there's a place there. Shalavim. I was at Shalavim. So there's Shalavim 30-some ago. And they said, we believe in Torah Avoda. So I said to them, I said, how many hours do you learn? I said, no, after we work in the fields, we come 1 hour, I give a shiur. I said, how many people in the kibbutz come there? Well, only about 5, 6. Let's go Torah Avoda. On Shabbos, however, they all come. So then, I ask you, where's the Torah Avoda? It's Avoda and a little Torah. In order to please one's conscience of being religious and Torah, so the merely you have a little Torah, and you're involved, and you help out, and the mitzvahs, but really down deep, the person doesn't hold from Torah. If you held from Torah, you'd be learning all day long Torah. You'd say, Yom V'Layla Torah, what would be the problem? And you'll lower your standard in your business or what you're doing to learn more Torah. In order to learn Torah, you have to lower your standard to learn the Torah. If you want to increase your standard of quality of living, then your Torah goes down the drain. Because you want to support your standard and your gaiva position of your ideas or whatever it is, and your standard and your ideas, and this person's bad, that person's bonus of the Yetzirah, which are dinionos anyway, and you have good reasons. So the Mela, but down deep, where's the love of Torah? So therefore it comes out that the Chidor is right. Because if you really love Torah, you'll be a Talmud Chacham, and then you'll love Talmid HaChomim. So therefore, but if you're not a real Talmud, you really hate the Talmid HaChomim. You really hate the Talmid HaChomim. And the Mizrahi hate Talmid HaChomim. Today, years ago, they were Talmid HaChomim in Mizrahi. Today, it was really Torah, and they believed in Eretz Yisrael because they want that expression of Torah. But the modern people, it's really Avodah, and then Torah or Medina, so they have all these problems of whatever it is. But down deep, if you then learn Torah, be a Talmud Chacham. So the only ones who can learn Torah, or the ones who are involved, if you love Talmid Chacham, you're a Talmud Chacham. You say, I love Torah, but I work, and I give cover, because you respect the parent, and you want to, but if you really can't, for whatever reason is, maybe you're an Amoritz and you can't learn, and you're ready, and you can't be ready, you got children, or you're already in business, you can, but really you would want to, and every minute you have spare moments, you learn, or you try to learn, or you listen to tapes, or you go to shiurim, but every day. But it's not just a dream, you really strain yourself. I saw a balabas, I go to his house, and he comes home from work, he opens the safe, and since he's exhausted, he falls asleep on the safe. Again, he opens it again every day, he does, and he falls asleep again. Okay, I want to mention who it is, a friend of mine. And but on Shabbos, he learns an extra hour. He pays the guy to learn Torah, and he loves Torah. So that means he wants to learn, but he comes home, he's exhausted. What can he do? But he opens the safe. But at least he makes the attempt. He makes the attempt to learn because he loves Torah. He wants somebody. He got to work. He has a big business. He supports this, that, okay. Whatever it is. So therefore, I wanted to explain also the fact that the raya of the Chidor, that if you love Torah, you become a Talmid Chacham, and then also you should become Talmid Chacham. High Torah doesn't come from Yerusha, but the fact you love Talmid Chachamim, and the children see. Let's talk about Koyach HaSiyah. Now, the children see. How do you relate to a Talmid Chacham? How do you relate? Well, which Talmid Chacham who's good to me, who I have a relationship with him, that he gives me respect? What type of Talmid? Do I have respect for all Talmid Chacham, only some Talmid Chacham? Do I make categories? The Talmid Chacham who are Ganovim, the Talmid Chacham who are Tzadikim, Talmid Chacham, what is, right? You have all these groups of people. I used to sit by Rabbi Chaim Zimmerman, and he used to tell me all day long, that guy is up here, that guy's an Ishem, it's not an Ishem. And who are we talking about? We're talking about Rebbe, and we're talking about rabbis over there, all kinds of people. He has all these names of people. I don't want to mention names. You know those names of the people. And he has all these categories, who the people are. He talks about. I don't want to tell you, he has a whole list of people. He has a whole picture book of all the wonderful people that we hold great. He has, and he brings proof. Says, at this point, the guy wasn't Maidan MS. Now, at first I thought that he's a bad guy and he had troubles. At first I thought, I used to go, then I asked him, I said, listen, I said, I'm sitting here getting all these, he says, no. You got to know that I'm a Yirat Shamayim and I'm a tzaddik. You have to know that. Okay. But that's what he says. I accept it as true. You got to know I'm telling you mitam chinuch. You have to know about it. In the interest of you changing, and you understand the map, understand what is a picture of a Rembrandt, and what's a forged document, and what's a little other picture. You know what I mean? I don't know. We gotta know where the money goes. I gotta know the story. You gotta know who's the Gadol Hador. He showed you that you can translate Torah to money. If a guy knows so much Gemara, he's worth so much money. Because Gemara, there's a way of a quantum measurement of knowing in what. In order for what? In order to know what? Skarv Onish, that just like there's a shiur in Emunah, there's a shiur in Avos Hashem, which means Skarv Onish. If there's no shiur, there's no way of measuring. So how can God judge you if you have it or don't have it? Now, how can you know yourself if you have it or don't have it? So we have ways of knowing it. What's in your heart? This is Lashem Alkeinu. But Haniglos Lono Vaneno, which is us. So now the question is, how? We're again back to the picture. How do I get in myself to see that I have Avos Hashem? Well, first thing is, if I'm learning Torah, am I learning the Torah? Second of all, am I happy learning the Torah? Am I happy with my friends learning? I can cover to other Talmidei Chacham who are learning Torah. Which is really the basis of Sinas Chinam, was between Talmidei Chachamim, between their chavrusas and their friends. You're happy with your friend, you smile at him, you say hello to your friend who you're learning with. Do you do favors? Do you care? How's your relation to your Adam Lachaver of your chavrusa? In order to make the tikkun of or the tikkun of getting rid of Sinas Chinam in the world. How do we do that? How do I look at your face? And body language, we said, was 62% of a person's understanding of how he feels to understand what he does. So what's your body? What's your body movement? How do you look? How do you feel? How do you feel and how do you look? Then how do people look at you? And how do you look at yourself? And there's a way of testing Avos Hashem. We just brought down that last week said it is a test. How do you feel towards Mesis Umadiyah? It's a test. How do you feel? There's a shiur. There's a measurement. When you hear something apicursus, and if you love your father and the mother, and you hear something against your father, what do? You shut your ears, you find an excuse how to cover up for your parents. You love your parents, and somebody talks bad about the parents, what do? You cover up, you have excuses, you don't listen, it doesn't affect you. But if you don't love your parents, and some people said bad, what do you say? You're right. And that's the point, I didn't think about it, And really there may be something true about that, right? So then there's a measurement that you really don't love God. If some guy talks bad about Torah or religion and today's world, and your ears hear and you say, well, maybe it's right, and then you hear wrong. Hi, Rabbi Goldstein just criticized the Gedolim and has a whole list of people. No, that was an Ian of Chinuch. But as far as I'm concerned, to me they're great people. I don't talk bad about them. Why? Because who I am, they're great people. To him in his world, they don't read up to his level. So don't read level doesn't make that my level I don't accept. In my level, they're the greatest they can be. They can be greater than those people. But if I talk about scholarship, I go, what scholarship? That's another. But Chas v'Shalom, I talk bad or degrade anyone. Chas v'Shalom. But in the point, if you hear somebody degrading Torah and it affects your being, how can you hear it? How can you listen to it? And if you listen to it, it's a simon you don't love Hashem. It's not that you're smart and you found the point. It means in your shiur of loving Hashem, it's missing. Because in order to love Hashem, you have to give loving Talmidei Chachamim. You have to love Talmidei Chachamim. And did Rabbi Zimon love these people? Of course he loved the people. Did he care? He cared. Did he pray for them? He prayed for the people. But it doesn't mean he doesn't know the criticism. Yes, criticism doesn't mean. What does it mean? It doesn't mean he doesn't love them. He doesn't respect them. He wouldn't follow. Of course he would. But it does mean that, do you love God? If you love God, again, you have to ask Hashem Lokecha, you have to darshan Talmidei Chachamim, and which is more Marbe Talmidei Chachamim. How can it be more than Hashem good? You have love of Talmidei Chachamim, and the Mela, you come to love Hashem more. Because we explain that's how you relate and what you do. Now, I ask people to think how this can revolutionize your life. How does this concept of showing and expressing your love of God by loving how much Torah you learn. When you learn Torah, you're smiling. Are you happy? Are you joyous? Do you dance? Do you run far for it? Is every word important? Do you shomer it? Do you take care of it? Do you see a chaver and you say hello to your chaver? Do you give shakings and are you smiling? Are you happy? That's one way. There's other ways. How we're going to translate this into a live experience that we're going to gain from it to change our being and prepare ourselves for Rosh Hashanah of loving God. How is it going to change our lives? What are we going to do to change our lives to do something? To ask people to think about it. And today I just wanted to clarify these two other points. And tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem will continue how it should change our lives. And it should change our lives. Think about it a little more. I have another little chazal I want to tell you, which is another 2, 3. Again, added to this svara, have 2, 3 pieces, and again, we'll open up. And Mitzvah Hashem, we should have a different Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, in a different world. Let me explain it. It is there, just opening up. Just think about it a little more. And Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow, it's a little late now. So we have Seder. That think of how loving a Talmud Chacham brings you closer to loving God. And in order to love a Talmud, you have to be a Talmud Chacham. If you're not a Talmud Chacham, you really won't love a Talmud Chacham. And you want to chew them, and down in your heart you have some sinner, kinna, and taiva somewhere in your heart. But if you are a Talmud Chacham, you'll go out of your way and love the Talmud. Even though it says people of the same business hate each other, but that's not by Talmid Chacham, or a real Talmid. Think how it's going to change your life, and how should it change your life? What can you do about it? Think about it. I told you that this Chazal is a big piece in Hasidus of the Hasidic Rebbe's. In a lot of things they do. We're not in that wrong. But we have that, but the Chazal has to be good for us the same way they do it. We have to add another step or other things in it, but it has to exist. The darshan of Avat Es Hashem Elokecha exists for everybody. That's a Jewish. Because when he darshan that pasuk also. The pasuk of fearing Hashem, he didn't darshan. But Rabbi Akiva did darshan. Rabbi Akiva was a big man. He definitely darshan after Hashem Elokecha. And we assume also that he did darshan Hashem. The only one place he got stuck was Yira. So the question, how is that going to affect and change our lives? We'll talk about it.